Quick video here about the term occult forces. I've seen people misinterpret it and distort it when referring to my videos or writings about it. People have claimed that the Jews, Zionists, elite, colonialists, Illuminati, or any other human group are the occult forces or only affected by them. No, occult forces are non-physical hyperdimensional entities known to all esoteric occult traditions, given various names. They are not human and they don't target or work through any particular race or group, but through all of humanity, and everyone without exception is affected and influenced by them to varying degrees, unless you're enlightened. Check out my previous video on this topic called Spiritual Warfare. Occult in this context means hidden, as in not perceivable by your five senses. In a nutshell, there's more to our reality than our five senses can perceive. Our reality is really embedded in a very complex system of unseen worlds and influenced by hidden occult forces of a higher hyperdimensional reality. Various esoteric teachings talk about this hyperdimensional matrix control system, each in their own way, that has influenced and controlled humanity from unseen realms for thousands of years. For example, Don Juan and Carlos Castaneda's work called it the topics of all topics, speaking of a cosmic predator that uses man as food. Gurdjieff refers to the evil magician who controls humans and the concept of food for the moon. The Gnostics talked about the archons of darkness. In the Native American tradition, it is called Wetiko. The Sufis call them the Shaitans, and the Jinn in their Arabian esoteric traditions are supernatural creatures who interfere with humanity. Rudolf Steiner refers in his work to the spirits of darkness that have taken over humanity, the Ahrimanic, Azuric, and Suratic spirits. Sri Aurobindo in his Integral Yoga talks about the powers of darkness that have interfered with the harmonious evolutionary creation. They are the Pisacha, Rakasha, and the Asura, the occult, hostile, and adverse forces, as he calls them. As a matter of fact, I adopted the term occult forces from his work, as I have referenced many times. To quote Sri Aurobindo here, "They are occult forces, and subliminal experience seems to show that they are supraphysical beings embodying these forces that are attached in their root nature to ignorance, to darkness of consciousness, to misuse of force, to perversity of delight, to all the causes and consequences of the things that we call evil. These powers, beings, or forces are active to impose their adverse constructions upon terrestrial creatures, eager to maintain their reign in the manifestation. They oppose the increase of light and truth and good, and still more, are antagonistic to the progress of the soul towards a divine consciousness and divine existence. These are the forces and beings that are interested in maintaining the falsehoods they have created in the world of the ignorance, and in putting them forward as the truth which man must follow. All the time, these universal occult forces are pouring into humans without them knowing it. The word appearances refers to the forms they take in order to rule the world, forms often false and always incarnating falsehood, sometimes pseudo-divine. Often representing themselves as divine powers, they mislead, give erring suggestions and impulsions. For example, nowadays we see this deceptive nature in the New Age concept of the Galactic Federation of Light, in other deceptive appearances of so-called positive aliens. They appeal to ego with temptations to make you feel special. Accepting these suggestions creates an occult trap of agreement, key concept. And in the words of the famous occultist Dion Fortune, we live in the midst of invisible forces whose effects alone we perceive. We move among invisible forms whose actions we very often do not perceive at all, though we may be profoundly affected by them. We need to realize that the human consciousness is not a closed vessel. The cosmic forces are circulating through it all the time, like seawater through a living sponge. Whatever emotional state may arise within us is reinforced from the outside. The subjective self only has the kindling. The cosmos supplies the fuel. Once the fire is started, the cosmic forces of the appropriate type will stoke it. Very important to understand this concept. If you want to learn more about it, check out my recent video titled Spiritual Warfare: How to Protect Yourself from Hostile Forces, and go to my website veilofreality.com. I've written over 30 articles about this topic with resources and references, and also talk about it in depth in many videos, lectures, and podcasts.